guys, it's Will with Terrible Infant, here with a special episode, a Blu-ray review. Look what I have here. This is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook 4K and Blu-ray edition of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There are probably already a fair number of reviews of this out, because this has been out since December, but the Oscars are coming up, and I've been following like the lead up to the ceremony, and everyone's like speculation about what's going to win and blah, blah, blah. And I just watched all the special features on this Blu-ray. It was like a couple days ago, so I thought, why not, with the Oscars coming and the fact that this is nominated for 10 Oscars, I think, right? I figured I'd give it a little review here, because you guys seem to really like Blu-ray reviews, actually, when we talk about the bonus features and stuff like that. So if you do like these types of videos, let us know. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, give us a comment, let us know what you think about this release, other releases, what we should be reviewing, etc., 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 because we do really like doing this kind of stuff. We tend to do more movie reviews. We've already done a review of this movie, so I'll put a link in the description of the video to that. But we tend to review the movie more than the physical release and like the bonus features on the release and stuff like that. But if you want us to do more of that, we definitely will, because we watch all that stuff. So I think this is a phenomenal release, and here, I can just pop this open for you, but I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. We'll drop in some images so you can get nice close-ups of it. But it's like a film canister is the picture on the disc there. I really love this release, and some people have complained about this artwork, but I think it's awesome. It's got the neon, like the neon signs that are so prevalent in the movie. Especially on like Hollywood Boulevard and stuff. So this release really reminds me of what I think of as like the heyday of kind of like DVDs, which would have been, I can't even remember like year-wise, what it would have been like 2002 or 3 to like 2005 or 6. And I'm thinking of like Snatch, Gangs of New York had great bonus features on it. Fight Club was like incredible when that came out. Obviously that would have been earlier. So, because like I find that today you have this really polarized environment with home movie releases, right? Where you either have like the release that's just kind of tossed out by the studio or the production company with like 1 5-minute little featurette and like a trailer on it, or you have like the Criterion style or like Arrow or like all these kind of like more niche labels who put so much stuff on there that it's like, oh my God, I need 3 days to watch this, right? And like I feel like gone are the days where you'd have like an hour to 2 hour of bonus features that would be like the perfect amount of stuff to like really learn about the behind the scenes in the film, but not feel like you're just like completely overwhelmed and don't even know what's going on. And that's exactly what this is. There's almost exactly an hour of bonus features on here. There's 25 minutes of deleted scenes, and then there's like 30-ish minutes of featurettes. So the 25 minutes of deleted scenes are really, really interesting, because there's an extended like clip from Bounty Law that's really fun. There's a couple period commercials that are really interesting, because you can kind of see how they would fit in with the movie and giving kind of the ambiance of the time period. Like one is for the beer that Brad Pitt's character drinks. There's one for Red Apple cigarettes, and I think there's like another one with DiCaprio like hosting a TV show that's kind of like a studio kind of ad commercial type thing. And then you have a couple dramatic scenes. One that I found fascinating was Rick Dalton, who's Leonardo DiCaprio's character, talking to Sam Wanamaker, who is the director who directs the episode of the Western that he's in with the Timothy Oliphant character, Lancer, right? He's in Lancer, and Luke Perry's in it too. And there's just, it's a single take scene of DiCaprio's character and Sam Wanamaker kind of sitting next to each other on the set, and it looks like it's like a telephoto lens. Like it kind of reminds me of, Kurosawa loved like telephoto lenses, so he'd shoot from like really far away, but the effect of the lens would flatten the distance so that characters appeared closer than they were. And so like Sam Wanamaker and Rick Dalton really look like they're like sitting on top of each other, but you can tell that it's just shot from like far away and in a certain way. But they're just talking about like the different sets that they've been on, the different actors that they've worked with, and it almost feels improv, and it's really, really fascinating. It's a really cool scene. So that's the deleted scenes, and then you have the featurettes. So there's one on the cinematography, there's one on the production design. It feels like stuff that they made for an Oscar campaign, but it's really well done, and it's all kind of put together into this really great package. So like I think it's good that they really pushed this movie for the Oscars, because you get, instead of just like the 1 5-minute thing that's like, interviews everybody and then, you're done. It's compartmentalized. So costumes, the set design is in recreating Hollywood in that era. Like I said, the cinematography, there's one on the cars, which is actually really interesting. I'm not interested in cars at all. And I found that segment real. I thought I was going to watch that and be like, oh, cool, there's some period cars, whatever, fine. It's really cool. The guy who went and dug up all these cars is really interesting, and he actually found, this is crazy to me, he found Tex Watson's car, which is the car that was driven up Cielo Drive by the Manson gang the night of those murders. Someone owns it and has preserved it in the exact condition, which is kind of sick, I guess, when you think about it. Like, why would you want to own that car and preserve it? And he actually offered for them to use the exact car in the movie, and they were kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit creepy. So they took a bunch of pictures of it, and then they found another car of the same make and model, and they basically, because the Tex Watson's car was in pretty bad shape. If you've seen the movie, you see it's like a beater. They just beat the crap out of this car and repainted it, so it was like a replica of that car. But it's really interesting to see like where they got all the cars. So in the FBI episode, so Rick Dalton is in an episode of FBI, and he and Cliff Booth, who's Brad Pitt's character, they watched that episode together. That was an actual episode of the show called FBI, and they just kind of dropped Rick Dalton into it. And the military vehicle that's in the FBI episode, that exact vehicle still exists and was owned by this company that rents out vehicles for movies. So they were able to get the exact same one. And then with the pickup truck, they just kind of like found a similar model and repainted it. So it was really interesting to see that. And then, the way that they shut down different areas in LA, talking about the production design now, like they were able to shut down. And here's a fun fact for you. The scene where Sharon Tate goes to the movies and watches The Wrecking Crew, her own movie, that was filmed in Westwood Village, which is where UCLA is. And I was actually in Westwood Village the day they filmed that. And I didn't see any of the actors or Tarantino or anybody, but I saw the period set dressing, and I saw people in period costume, and I saw the marquee of the movie theater, and I was like, I wonder if this is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then I saw the movie, and I was like, yeah, it is. I was definitely there the day that they shot that. So just like the producer talks about, like, apparently it's very hard to get Starbucks to shut, like, to roll up their awnings and like take away all their branding, but because Tarantino is such a big name and this is such a high profile project, they agreed to it. And so I like those behind the scenes anecdotes like that are really cool. Hearing Robert Richardson, who's a cinematographer, speak is always really cool. I saw him talk in person at a screening of the Roadshow version of Hateful Eight. That was really, really cool. So he's a really interesting person to listen to. And so just all the people involved in this movie seem to really love the movie, and they'll have a lot of interesting things to say about it. And there's only a couple parts, like a lot of times when you watch these behind the scenes featurettes, it feels very rehearsed. Either like it was written or the person is saying something they've said 1,000 times before in like every interview you could possibly read. With one or two exceptions, the material in here really felt like it's done in earnest by people who really cared about making these featurettes really good. And obviously, if it's an Oscar campaign, that makes sense because they want the awards, right? But it really is like, they really were like great bonus features, and it was the perfect length. Like I said, you could watch it in one sitting after watching the movie and just kind of feel more immersed in the world of the movie, have learned a lot more about the movie, but not feel like, I almost get, when I get those releases with so many bonus features that it's overwhelming, I get like anxious, like, oh, when am I going to watch this? And like, am I a bad person if I put it away without watching it? But so there you go. So that's my review of the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood Blu-ray. Like I said, I loved it. It's highly recommended by me. There are multiple versions of the artwork. So like I said, this is the Best Buy exclusive, and I think this is sold out. I'm looking at Brandy on the back here. I love that dog. Target has an exclusive, which I think is a slipcase that comes with like a mock magazine from that time period, like as the insert. There might be like an indie retailer, like indie record store type release that's also has unique artwork. But from what I understand, they all have the same bonus features. It's just that like the cosmetic aspects of it that are different. So my name is Will. If you want to see our review of this movie, like I said, that will be a link to that will be in the description of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have fun watching the Oscars if you plan on doing that. Subscribe if you made it this far into the video. I forgot to say. I should say that at the front of the video, but I always forget. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time.